Hey there, thanks for hanging out with me again. I am Kelly, I am your vegetable nerd friend, and I'm here to get way too enthusiastic about vegetables. So let's get started, and let's start Meetin Veg.
Hey, turn up the caramello and shizzle on the shizney. It's time for me to what? Let me introduce myself. I'm Gino Burrito. My pants are made of leather. I find it hard to concentrate.
So one of the first things you'll notice is we are back in my kitchen, where I'm very happy to be. I had to do my last couple of videos, the birthday unboxing videos, in the living room because I had to be sitting in my chair. I hurt my back and it hurt to stand up for too long. How did I hurt my back? Was I doing the parkour like you probably are imagining? Have fun with that. Was I down at the skate park with the kids doing my kick flips and ollies is a word I've heard that I assume is a skateboard related word? No, I don't leave my apartment. My activities at the moment are jack and squat. Apparently squat was just a little too much for me. It kind of took me out. I remember being one of those obnoxious kids who said dumb things like, age is just a number. And then I got to a certain age and my back was like, no, it is not. It is certainly not. I'm feeling better now. I'm back in my kitchen. Very happy to be here. Let's get into some of these lovely vegetables. So today I'm going to be going through another delivery from MilkRun. I love MilkRun so much. I love getting their produce. It's always something beautiful and lovely from farms that I recognize that I used to get from the farmer's market, and they've always got something interesting. It sort of mimics for me that feeling of going to the farmer's market where every week you show up and you go, what's going to be here this week that wasn't here last week? There's always something to discover, and I have some new and interesting things for you in this box. First of all, I rarely buy this, but it just looks so nice. These are organic bicolor corn. I don't eat a lot of corn because it's kind of starchy. Every now and again, you just want a piece of corn, and it's very pretty, and it's like yellow and white, and that will be very nice for me. I got some spring onions. I'm so glad that I ordered these because a couple of days ago I got an email from Imperfect Foods and they were like, hey, those onions you've been eating came from the place that had the recall and maybe you're gonna get salmonella. And I was like, oh, yeah, you gotta throw your onions away. And I was like, oh. And I got real sad about it. But then I remembered that I had some on the way. I was so bummed about it that I had friends on Facebook offering to bring me onions because I got like hella sad. I love my onions, but I'm fine. I also have one more onion here. I was so upset about the whole onion thing. I'm just gonna keep going on about this. I was so upset about the onion thing that even though I had this box coming today, I set up another delivery for tomorrow and it's just like all onions. The thought of running out of onions and not having any just bummed me out so much. I put them on everything. Everything. I put onions on onions. I put onions on my face. I put onions on everything. So being out of them is unacceptable. These guys got a nice big bag with some of these spicy boys. These are more of those padron peppers that we were talking about. Speaking of peppers, if you watched the birthday unboxing, the third one, where I got some things from Supermarket Italy. You remember I was eating those peri peppers and they're super delicious, but I gave you a warning and I said, you can't take my word for this. I had Brian try them and I guess I didn't sufficiently warn him. I assumed his experience would mirror my experience and it didn't. He took a bite and he had this moment of joy that was immediately ruined by flames in his mouth. He had this, yes, this is, and his eyes got bigger than I've ever seen them. I've never seen him react this much to a pepper. I don't know if he just got an especially spicy one, or if I'm just so dead-mouthed that I am not picking up on how spicy these things are. So he was pretty miserable for quite a while. He was in a pretty bad state. He's not going to be eating any more of those. So if you find a jar of those, maybe don't just pop a whole one in your mouth. That feels like just sound advice about a lot of things. Gonna leave that there. So, I got some microgreens. However, this week is just like the week of things being delivered to me not exactly correctly. Even the Supermarket Italy box, remember that one was in perfect condition, everything beautifully wrapped, but there was an item missing. And then I contacted them. They were very good about getting back to me, as was the French farm, by the way. They're sending replacements for everything that broke. Unfortunately, Supermarket Italy didn't have the item that wasn't there, so they refunded me, so that's nice. This is also not what I ordered. I ordered the spicy ones because why would I not order the spicy ones? These are the Plain Jane microgreens, and it's a blend of pea and sunflower shoots, which is fine, because that's gonna be super delicious. However, I also got a bunch of pea shoots. So now I have a lot of pea shoots, which is also really fine, because, like, they're pretty nummy. I'm gonna eat them still, but in my heart, it's a little sadness. That's okay. I scrambled those pea shoots into some eggs, and they were shockingly good, just so you know. In case you're wondering, in case you're like, what am I gonna do with pea shoots? Whatever you want to do. You know, it's your food, it's your mouth. Try stuff out. These are not beets. They look like beets when you first look at them, but these are scarlet turnips. I love turnips. And you can eat these greens. They're a little wilty because they've been sitting in this box for a little bit longer than I would like them to have been sitting there. I have had a really hard time getting this video made. I have a very loud and very needy cat. Every time I tried to say 2 words, she comes out of nowhere. If it feels like I'm rushing, might be just because I'm trying to get this done before she comes back, which I am. But these are super yummy. I've never had the scarlet ones before. I assume they're gonna be just like regular turnips. And if you haven't had turnips before, I know they don't sound sexy, and they're not, but you don't have to be sexy. You don't owe sexiness to anybody. You are enough, and so are you. You can mash them, you can boil them, you can roast them, you can do all kinds of things. You can take them to the prom, you can declare your love to them, you can show them to a confused dog, you can have any kind of good time you want with these. They're yummy, you should try them. You really should try them, I love these. A little bitty bunch of purple sprouting broccoli. I have a lot of purple in this delivery. For some reason, I must be just like short on anthocyanins or something. Something is telling me buy purple things because you need these, but I'm very drawn to purple vegetables. It might also just be because I'm drawn to unusual versions of things. If you're used to seeing it in green and you're like, meh, you know, been there, done that, everybody's seen green broccoli, and then you see purple, you're like, okay, that's different, let's do it. These are yummy. These are so yummy roasted. Oh man, you can just roast these with a little bit of olive oil and like some garlic, and then when it's done, put some Parmesan cheese on there, and yum 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 yum, and it's really good. 2 more things, and they're all purple. These guys here, they're not as purple as I've seen them before. These are just bell peppers, but they're purple. You don't see that every day. I used to see these at the farmer's market all the time, and I buy them every now and again, just because it's different. Do they taste any different from other peppers? No, not appreciably. I mean, they're still bell peppers. They're kind of on the small side, but they're purple. I mean, what more do you want? I mean, oh, I love them. And the very last thing is quite purple. So if that was not purple enough for you, these will satisfy your need for purple. These look like if I was any good at juggling, which, like, I'm not even just like not good at juggling, like I'm 0 skill at juggling. But if I was good at juggling, these would be a perfect candidate to be juggled. These are eggplants. I realize I'm putting dark kind of against a dark background. This is also eggplant colored. You can kind of get the gist. Here, I'll put it against that. Technology. These are just delicious eggplants. I love eggplants so much. These eggplants are so good. It reminds me of when I was going to Thai restaurants and stuff. I always love anything that has eggplants in it. Everything kind of like all the flavors kind of seep into it, and it just gets very soft and a little bit gushy, which is not normally a texture I enjoy, but for eggplants, oh my god, yeah. I'm probably gonna cook these up with like some chili crisp and maybe some soy sauce and like some ginger and some, I don't know. I'm gonna improvise and do some fun things with this. I think I have some mushrooms I can put with this, maybe those peppers. I'm gonna go nuts, and I'm gonna really enjoy these. If you get a chance to try these, I think they're a little bit easier to work with than the great big, you know, fatty globe artichokes. I think those are a little bit more difficult. So this is a little easier entry into using eggplants. Thank you for letting me get enthusiastic about my vegetables. Thank you for hanging out with me in my kitchen. It's been so cool to, you know, spend time with you guys again, even though we can't be together in person. Have fun, stay safe, parkour!
Hey, turn up the caramel and shizzle on the shizney. It's time for me to what? Let me introduce myself. I'm Gina Burrito. My pants are made of leather. I find it hard to concentrate.